FAMU Law launched a new economic justice legal clinic. Joining us now to discuss this is Dean Deidre Keller and Clinic Director Mark Dorison. Welcome to Legal Connections.
Thank you.
Thank you. Delightful to be here.
So Dean, I know that your background is in intellectual property advocacy. Tell me about how this clinic came about.
Right. So when I was interviewing for this position, I heard from students that they were interested in transactional law careers and didn't really see how what they wanted to do with their career fit with clinic opportunities. In my first year in the role, I spent some time talking with lots of community leaders in the nonprofit space, in the corporate space, et cetera. And right at that time was, the pandemic was going on. There were federal funds available for small businesses. But what I realized pretty quickly is that a lot of minority-owned businesses weren't set up in a way to take advantage of those funds. Mm-hmm. And so it seemed to me like the community had a need and the college had a need, right? The community had a need for legal services to support small minority-owned businesses, mm-hmm. and the college had a need to provide opportunities for students interested in transactional careers. And so I envisioned the Economic Justice Clinic as fitting both of those needs.
That makes sense. That's awesome, and what a great opportunity for the students. And Professor Dorison, your role as the director of the program, tell me some of the things that entails and what the students are doing in the program.
Well, the clinic runs, I describe it like a small nonprofit law firm where I have 6 eager, brilliant young associates, the students enrolled, and I get to play the senior partner. And what the clinic does, how that little law firm operates, is we actually provide direct legal services and representation to small business owners, to entrepreneurs who are interested in starting a small business, and to nonprofits working in under-resourced communities. And so we are particularly targeting Black-owned and minority-owned businesses, particularly focusing on the Paramore community, but not limited there too. And the idea is to provide, as the dean said, a range of transactional services. So it could be everything from formation, how do I actually create the business? How do I set up the LLC or the nonprofit? Mm-hmm. To things like reviewing contracts, leases, issues related to employees, issues related to compliance. What kind of permits do I need? What kind of licenses do I need? How do I fundraise? To issues of basic trademark and copyright for folks that are starting those businesses. And really with the idea of being able to provide the full range of transactional services that all businesses need, but that regrettably lots of Black-owned businesses and very small businesses don't get because they just don't have the resources. That's the other great thing about the clinic. Those legal services are provided at no cost. Absolutely.
I think that's so valuable just because just as when you're in law school, you learn, and you learn how to do things in the classroom setting, but then, as you said, there's something with this hands-on experience. So the program has a seminar and the hands-on experience, Professor Dorison?
That's right. There's a weekly seminar meeting where we discuss issues of substantive law. How do you form a nonprofit? What is the requirements to be tax exempt, for example? We were just talking about that last night. And then there is, the actual representation of clients. So the students are getting that direct experience. So they're meeting with the clients, they're drafting documents, they're counseling clients on various issues. They are reviewing the business operations to ensure that everything is compliant with the law. And so there really is, the whole clinic model is designed to provide this experiential educational opportunity to take what students are learning in the classroom, as you mentioned, and see how it actually impacts the lives of people that they're working with. And then there is also the experience that I don't think you can get in the classroom of actually listening to people in the community, to hearing what their needs are, to understanding how to practice law in a client-centered, community-centered way, which I believe is the mission of all lawyers, but it is particularly the mission of FAMU Law School to provide legal services to those underserved communities.
That's exactly where I was going with that, because as you were speaking, I was thinking of FAMU Law Dean and how it's uniquely situated in location
Right.
and in mission for such a program. And what is the overall, I guess, how will you measure the progress of the program? Any thoughts on that, Dean?
Absolutely, we've thought about it. At the end of the day, we want to see that we're having an impact, like Professor Dorison said, in our immediate community. So for those who don't know, we sit in Paramore, right? And I'm a strong believer that charity begins at home, right? We have to do the work in our own backyards first. And so we want to see that our students are actually helping people to stand up, formed businesses and providing those legal services that really aren't provided by other nonprofit legal entities. And so that's how you judge the impact on the community side. But then on the student side, I think our students get not just the great hands-on experience, but they get to build the value of providing a service to the community, right? Of being service-minded and community-minded. And so for me, there's the impact on that side as well, right? I would like to see us graduate lawyers who are committed to that community service value.
Yes, and that was one of the personal statement questions when I was applying to law school was, do you see the practice of law as community service? And I think sometimes people don't make that connection. But thank you so much for all the work you both do in our communities and for the law school. It's been great having you on.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
FAMU Law's Economic Justice Clinic is up and running to help our minority business community. Please call 407-254-4000 for more information. That information again is on your screen, 407-254-4000. Legal Connections continues.